Alright, we're on week 2 post-op now, and change of location. This is my little office, but it's kind of full of junk right now, so excuse all the mess behind me. But yeah, so today is the 28th of February, last day of February. It's Wednesday, so I'm now doing my 2-week post-op, but it is obviously like 2 weeks and a day, as I explained in the last video. Anyway, that's what I'm doing. Let me just get my notes ready and I will jump just into stats. So I had my VSG, vertical sleeve gastrectomy, gastric sleeve, whatever you want to call it, on the 13th of February 2018. I am 31 years old. I'm 5 feet, well, I thought I was 5 feet 5 inches when I was actually measured in the clinic before I went in for my surgery. I was just over 5 feet 4 inches. So I'm going to say 5 foot 5 because I think maybe I was just used to kind of hunching myself up, you know. I think if I stand up nice and straight, I'm 5'5". Anyway, we'll say 5 foot 5, okay? Yeah, 31 years old, 5 feet 5. My highest recorded weight was in December 2017, and that was 16 stone 7 pounds, which is 231 pounds. That was on the 6th of December 2017. My weight on the day of surgery was 15 stones 3 pounds, which is 213 pounds, and again that was on February the 13th. My weight 1 week post-op last week was 14 stone 9 pounds, which was a loss of 8 pounds post-op, and my weight now 2 weeks post-op is 14 stones 1 3/4 pound. So that brings me excitingly under the 200 pound mark. I'm now 197 pounds, 197.7, is that right? 197.7 or 197 3/4 pound. I'm just going to double check that. Yep. So that is 197.7. Yeah, so that is a loss of 7 1/4 pounds since last week, which is a total loss since surgery of 1 stone 1 1/4 pounds or 15 1/4 pounds. And total weight lost since the 6th of December when I started dieting is 2 stone 5 1/4 pounds or 33.3 pounds or 0.25 pounds really. It's a quarter pound, but for some reason it won't let me do 0.25, so it's rounded up to 3. Anyway, so that's, yeah, 33 1/4 pounds. Yeah, so I'm quite happy with the loss this week. Last week, if you watched my video, you'll know that I'd actually weighed on the Tuesday and I had been 14 stone 7 pounds, but then when I weighed on the Wednesday it had gone up to 9. Obviously my body was just kind of sorting itself out. So yeah, I quite quickly lost that 2 pounds again. In fact, by the Thursday I'd gone back down to 14 stone 7, and I have been daily weighing and seeing it come down throughout the week. And yesterday, so Tuesday, I had weighed myself and I was 14 stone 1 3/4 pounds. So I was slightly nervous this morning that it was going to jump up a couple of pounds like it did last week, but it didn't. So yeah, because I thought maybe this week, because I started on kind of more period things as of yesterday, that it might make my weight fluctuate, but I'm still not really eating enough anyway to make any sort of drastic difference. So I've started trying things like some pureed chicken. I had some pureed salmon, but I found I loved salmon pre-op. At the moment it just tastes really fishy, which is obviously it's a fish, but yeah, it just tasted like exceptionally fishy and I didn't really enjoy it that much. I had pureed it up and had some pureed sweet potato in there as well. I actually just mixed it all together into like one weird pureed blob. But yeah, I just didn't really enjoy it that much. I had a couple of spoonfuls of it and then I was just done with it. There's no food right now that I'm really enjoying that much. It's literally just to keep me alive right now. I'm looking forward to in a couple of weeks when I can go to kind of normal foods, and you know, I can start kind of you know, picking kind of nicer things that don't need to be pureed. I am hoping in the future to move towards becoming vegan. I'm not rushing into that right now because I want to obviously let my body recover and stick to what I know right now before I start kind of drastically, making another drastic change to my diet. I already don't have dairy, I don't have milk that is dairy, I don't have butter that's dairy, but yeah, at the moment I have already made some small changes, but I'm hoping that once I'm on kind of regular foods again, then I can start meal planning and make my meals for the week and have them be vegan, purely for health reasons, and also I'm just not a fan of like the dairy industry, and yeah, I wouldn't force it on anybody. I'm not going to like preach about it or anything because obviously I'm still eating meat at the moment, but it was something I would like to try, and if it doesn't work out, I can't maintain it, I'm not going to feel too bad. I probably will feel quite bad about eating meat again, to be honest, but I'm not going to put that pressure on myself to keep it up. Anyway, yeah, so that's what I would like to work towards eventually once I'm eating kind of normally again, but for the moment eating pureed chicken and stuff like that. I did have one scrambled egg this morning. I managed about 3/4 of it. So that was really good to be able to kind of chew something. Obviously I'm chewing it really well till it's just mush. I made a mistake yesterday where I pureed up some chicken, and then obviously it needs some sort of liquid to be added to it to make it a puree, otherwise it'd be quite dry. So I thought it would be a good idea to add some tinned tomatoes, and you've probably spotted my mistake already. I'm only 2 weeks post-op and I forgot that tomatoes had seeds in them, which I'm not allowed. So I had a couple of spoonfuls of that. Obviously I was kind of like holding it in my mouth, and this is kind of gross, but like thinning it down a little bit in my mouth. So I know that my first few kind of tiny little spoonfuls of it didn't have any seeds in it, but then I felt one and I just kind of panicked and I stopped eating it because obviously I can't have anything with seeds in right now in case one of them gets stuck in the wound in my stomach, and it can cause a lot of problems. So I'm not allowed like obviously berries with seeds and things like that. So yeah, I need to just be more mindful of what I'm actually making because it's easy to forget what you can't have. Also, let's think, I did my measurements as well this week. I had done them about a week before I went away for surgery, and yeah, so I did them just a few days ago and I'll share those with you. So initially I only did my bust, waist, hips, upper arms and my thighs. I haven't done my calves or my forearms or my neck or anything like that. I don't know whether to do those or not, but for me my main issue is torso area, and that's what I want to concentrate on. So on the 30th of January was when I did my first set of measurements, and my bust was 45. It is now 44.5, that's a loss of half an inch. Waist was 40, it's now 38.5, so that's 1.5 inches off my waist, which is quite good. Hips were 46, are now 45.5, so again, half an inch lost. My left thigh, 27.5, it is now 26, so that's 1.5 inches off of that thigh. Right thigh, 27.5, is now 26.5, so that's 1 inch. And my left arm was 14.5 inches, my right arm was 14 inches, and they have both stayed the same, which I'm not that surprised about because obviously, there's a lot of kind of loose skin going to start happening on the arms, so it's not going to shrink down that much initially because it's kind of been stretched out by all the fat. So as much as I'm probably losing fat on it, the skin is still going to make up the bulk of the measurement. Medication wise, I'm still taking my omeprazole morning and night. I am taking my multivitamin now, biotin, and I'm trying to add in my vitamin B12 and also some iron. I also used to take sea kelp because I have thyroid issues. Not with the function of my thyroid, it doesn't affect me, but I do have little nodules on it which sometimes swell up and I end up with a goiter. And I heard that sea kelp is good at kind of helping that kind of thing. So I do have sea kelp to take, but I'm not introducing that back in yet. And also I was taking vitamin B6 as well, but again, I'll add that back in eventually. I don't want to be taking too many right now. I still have my DVT injections to take. I just started my second box 2 nights ago, so I brought home 2 boxes of 10 injections. So I now have 8 injections left. It's tedious more than anything else. It's not painful. It sometimes stings a little bit, as I said last week. Like once I inject it in, then a couple of minutes later I can kind of go, oh, that kind of burns a little bit. But yeah, the actual injection is not painful. It's just tedious when my alarm goes off at 8 p.m. and I'm like, oh, I need to go and just stab myself in the stomach again. I'm trying to kind of keep them all in a similar kind of area, like below my belly button. So I'm kind of doing one side one night and then another side the next night, trying to kind of avoid where I've done before. I can do the tops of my arms, my thighs, and my kind of love handle area, you know, around my sides towards my back, but I feel like the piece of stomach underneath my belly button area is kind of the softest place and the easiest to inject, so I'm just going to continue doing that because it's not hurting anyway. I am still trying to get in enough water. I'm not great at it, to be honest. I know that's something I need to be mindful of, so that's something I need to keep working on. I also started driving this past week, which has been great because I don't like relying on other people for lifts around the place. I hadn't really been given any directions from my surgeon about when I could start driving again. I did look online and it kind of said as long as you can kind of twist the top half of your torso to look behind you without any pain, then you should be good to go. So I can do that no problem. I feel fine. I have no pain from my stomach or my incisions or anything like that. So I felt fine. So I've just been doing some kind of short journeys and it's been absolutely fine. Great. My incisions themselves, I took the stitches out myself on day 9 post-op. I was told to keep them in between 10 and 14 days, but the stitches had started to kind of, like the skin around has started to kind of merge around about the stitches, and the actual incisions were not red or sore anymore. The only sore parts were where the stitches had started to kind of dig in. So on day 9 I did take them out myself and they've been absolutely fine. I'll insert some clips now of what the incision sites look like just now. They're mostly just kind of dry. Now also I am prone to keloid scarring. I do have a keloid scar on my back and a small one on my stomach already. And so I fully expect these to keloid, and so I don't know how they compare at the moment to other people's at 2 weeks post-op, but we will see as we go on what they look like. The parts that are kind of most annoying to me are the little lines where obviously the stitches have started to dig in, but I'll take 5 keloid scars over being severely overweight any day, so I'm quite happy with that. So yeah, so I think that's basically it for updates. I feel great, I'm full of energy, I'm sleeping much better now, because last week I was kind of going to bed at 8-9 o'clock and waking up at 6 a.m, but I'm sleeping much better now, have more energy to go out and do things. Yesterday I did feel kind of lightheaded. I've kind of gone up a couple of flights of stairs, but I think again that's down to water intake. I need to make sure I'm hydrated, I need to keep that up, and yeah, so feeling great. I really would like to get out and do more exercise and stuff now. Obviously I can't exercise properly for another week, I think it's 3 weeks post-op I'm allowed to start exercising. At the moment I can't exercise anyway. We're having a snow day today, which actually, looking outside, it doesn't look as bad as it was forecast to be, but apparently there's a big snowstorm coming in this afternoon, so we are just staying at home and having a snow day. All the schools in the area are closed as well. And yeah, I don't know, I think it's maybe overcautious because it doesn't look that bad outside, but I'll take it, it's fine. We'll just have a lazy day at home. So yeah, so I'm going to continue with my puree stage this week. I don't have many ideas. If you have any ideas of things that I could try, then please do comment down below and let me know, because obviously I'd like to start adding a bit of variety into my diet rather than just protein shakes, yogurts and jellies, which I've been having for the past couple of weeks. So yeah, if you have any ideas, let me know down below. If you want to keep up with my journey, then please subscribe. I would really appreciate it. If you have a channel to do with your weight loss surgery, it doesn't have to be sleeve. I really enjoy following anybody's surgery story, or even just your weight loss story in general. You don't have to have had surgery. Then link it down below, or let me know down below that you have a channel and I will go and check it out and subscribe to you. And yeah, so I hope you enjoyed my 2-week post-op update, and I'll see you next week for week 3, where hopefully I will have found some more interesting puree things to have because I'm getting pretty bored, to be honest. But thank you again for watching, and I'll see you all next week.